One day, Ontario cornfields could yield an eco-friendly paint, an age-defying super moisturizer, or a non-toxic drug treatment. University of Guelph researchers are generating revolutionary new sugar polymer particles from southwestern Ontario corn. Polymer means the particles are made from sugar molecules bonded together. They're so tiny, it would take 500 million of them to cover the head of a pin. The particles' unique properties make them a promising platform technology with nearly countless applications. And like most exciting scientific discoveries, they were first created by accident. The particles are the byproduct of a chemical procedure used in an unrelated project. A researcher thought the byproduct looked peculiar, so instead of throwing it out, they placed it on a shelf. Eventually, project leader and physics professor John Dutcher and his team took a closer look at the mysterious substance using highly sensitive microscopes. They were amazed to see perfectly rounded, uniformly sized spheres. Researchers say they could serve as non-toxic, biodegradable replacements for engineered nanoparticles or petroleum ingredients.
They are completely natural. It's just sugars that are bonded together. Chemically, nothing very special, but the way the sugars are arranged gives them special physical and chemical properties. There are enzymes within the body and within the environment that can naturally break down these particles into the constituent sugars. So you don't have to worry about the buildup of these particles in the environment because they naturally degrade.
The particles are opalescent, which means they appear a different color depending on your viewpoint. This property makes them an attractive ingredient for paints and cosmetics, where they could replace petroleum-based components. The particles also have a remarkable ability to retain moisture.
The interaction of these particles with water is very special. When it gets water inside the particle, it holds onto it tenaciously, and it only releases it in a very slow time scale. So what this means is that it's very good as a long-term moisturizing agent.
In fact, the particles retain moisture better than current high-end moisturizing products. And the $300 billion a year international personal care industry is just one of their many potential applications. Think of the particles as hard spheres. In water, they act like billiard balls, bouncing off one another without sticking. This means you can add a large amount to a solution before it becomes a gel, which is useful if the particles need to be piped around a factory. The particles are all the same size and have uniform surface chemistry, which makes them easy to modify for almost any use. Because they're made from natural corn sugars, they're ideal for biomedical applications. For example, the particles could be modified to deliver drugs throughout the body. With support from the Ontario Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs, researchers are conducting field trials to grow corn that will produce the most particles.
The content can be very high, up to 25% by mass of the weight of the kernel of corn. We can vary the drying time on the field to see how that affects the yield as well.
Called Phytospherics polysaccharide particles, the startup company Morexus Biotechnologies Incorporated was created to guide their marketing and development. Pilot trials have successfully moved the manufacturing process from lab to industry scale, producing about 70 kilograms of the particles under food-grade conditions and ready for sale. Soon, Ontario corn producers could be growing the latest innovations in biomedical and material science. From the University of Guelph, I'm Natalie Osborne, reporting for Spark Air.